A fire broke out in a village in Dandong City, Liaoning Province on the 21st of 201912.
A villager reported that a house was on fire. The fire was very big. At that time, a 92-year-old man was living in the house and was rescued by his son.
The police immediately went to the scene of the fire.
The victim Zhu's home is at the top of the hill. The mountain path is so steep that the fire engine can't get up there. By the time we arrived on foot for 20 minutes, Zhu's house had been burned to ashes.
An old man named Zhou was sleeping when it caught fire. So what caused the fire?
Zhu's son said the fire started on the west side of the house. We found clothes, fragments and a charred bottle on the west side of the house. Zhu's son said that his father's house did not have these things, so we have a preliminary judgment that it was arson.
Then the police pulled surveillance video from the surrounding area,
spotted a suspicious figure wearing a hat and carrying a water bottle. The suspicious person appeared at 9 p.m., and we did an experiment from the location where she appeared to Zhu's house. She was within walking distance of Zhu's house to set fire to it.
Police begin to investigate the suspect when Zhou wakes up in the hospital.
We took the video to Zhu. At first, he didn't recognize who it was. After watching it several times, he said it was his ex-wife Lu who had been living with him for a year.
The police began to question Lu.
At first she said, "I don't know, I'm sleeping. I'm afraid to go out at night, and I don't know who set the fire." We talked to her patiently and learned about her and Zhu's life. Slowly, Lu relaxed to talk about the difficulties of her life. She freely confessed to setting Zhu's house on fire, saying that she had devoted all her affection to Zhu, but that he had not compensated her after the divorce.
Who is 74 years old, cried and said she started the fire impulsively because she was angry. So, what happened to the two of them? It all started in 2010.
That day my old husband went to the market and drove his car into a ravine.
Without her husband, Lu had no one to rely on.
I can't rely on my 3 sons and daughter. My daughters-in-law don't agree, and neither does my daughter's husband.
Her former husband got compensation for a car accident, and her sons asked her for money, but she didn't agree, so her daughter-in-law beat her, and her son supported the violence.
With nowhere else to go, Lu has to go back to her old house.
In winter, I get sick and can't get up in bed.
In the face of medical expenses, the attitude of her children makes Lu sad.
I have a lump in my lungs. Breathing is difficult. Finally was saved. My son and daughter are not filial, even refused to give the bus fare to the hospital.
Lu's story was known by the people in the same village. They came to help and introduced Lu to partners, one of whom was Zhou.
I asked Zhou, "Do you have a house?" He said yes. I said it was okay if I had a place to stay.
No one can take care of me, so I want to find a partner.
Lu is upset.
I have no money and need to pay my debts. He said, "I'll pay your debts. I am well and I have paid my debts. I am very happy."
Lu was moved by Zhou's generosity and agreed to live with him. After dating for a month, Zhou proposed to get married.
At first, he said he would give me 500 yuan a month, and we needed to register our marriage. I didn't think it mattered. Neither of us would live long anyway.
She can cook, she can move easily, I can take care of her, and she can take care of me before I die.
But each other's children did not approve of their marriage.
I don't want to live with my daughter-in-law. She broke my head and didn't allow me to live.
My son has no time to take care of me. I make my own decision and don't want to listen to others' opinions.
Zhou and Lu get a marriage license and get along well at first, but as time goes by, their different lifestyles cause them to disagree.
Food is not given to me first. For example, when my native chicken lays eggs, she won't give me any. Instead, she sells an egg for 2 yuan in the market and puts the money into her wallet. She only gave me cheap and nutrientless eggs, and I could buy one for 0.5 yuan.
I used the money I earned from selling eggs to buy vegetables, and I kept the money from selling scallions and waste products. I was afraid of not having any money. He didn't give me any money. Planting scallion was cold and hard. I could buy whatever I wanted with the money I earned from my own labor. He was not satisfied that I earned money for my own use, but he kept it to himself.
The two could not agree on the financial situation, and Zhou began to question Lu's character.
She wants to keep my monthly pension of more than 1,000 yuan, but her behavior makes me afraid to give her the money. I put 3,000 yuan in my quilt. When she went to make the quilt, the money fell out. I see the quilt out of shape, reach for the money, did not find.
I returned the money to him. The next day, I said to buy medicine, but he didn't give me the money. When I do laundry, I find money in his trouser pocket and I dry it and return it to him.
she pretended to look for money. My money was on the north side of the room. She found it on the south side. She only gave me 1,500 yuan back, and the other 1,500 yuan was not given to me, so I grabbed it back with my hand. She stole my money and said she found it for me.
The troubled marriage life made Zhou make his decision.
I can't tolerate her. She can't take care of me well. I don't want to live with her.
You can't accept it. She tries to persuade Zhou many times. Zhou insists on divorcing her.
It is Zhou who wants to get married, and it is Zhou who wants to get divorced. He has forgotten his promise before marriage. He said, I don't like you anymore. If you don't like chickens anymore, he will kill them and eat them. If you don't like me anymore, he will get a divorce. Give him fresh food. I eat stale, the leftovers are all my food, and I cook for him again. I bought whatever Zhou wanted, never dreaming that he would be divorced in his 90s.
After the divorce, Lu returned to live in his broken house again.
I had stored some wood before. After I left, my daughters-in-law took it and burned it. I picked up some wood and put it under the steps. My daughter-in-law didn't allow me. She brought a basin of water and poured it on me.
The more Lu thought about it, the angrier she became, thinking that her predicament was because Zhou had not given her financial compensation, and that she had caused a great disaster on impulse.
Two old people are very funny. Married life is like guerrilla warfare. You hide 1 yuan, I take 1 yuan. You hide in the quilt, I put in the drawer. 4a. Few eggs and vegetables quarrel every day, resulting in two people cannot live together.
The elderly have more social experience, which can lead to extreme personality. Their habits and personalities will be sharper than when they were young. Lu's life is hard. Money is the most important thing for her. The reason she remarried is to get support financially. Zhou's reason for remarrying is completely the opposite. My living standard is okay, and I don't lack money. Because my son is not around, he needs someone to take care of him. When two people get married for different reasons, life is prone to conflicts.
The human instinct is selfish, but in addition to selfishness there is also socialization, self-control, and friendly relations with others. As a person gets older, his social function will decline, and when his body functions deteriorate, can no longer consider the feelings of others, and only his instinct remains. They can't change themselves, so the conflict between Zhou and Lu can't be eased.
For parents' remarriage, first, we should not interfere too much, and, second, I should help them with an inclusive mind to give advice on how to enter a suitable old age marriage.
The requirements of old people's marriage are similar to those of young people, while their social relationships are more complex. Property, children, stepchildren, alimony, and medical expenses are more complicated than those of the young, so the marriage of the elderly must be careful.